English through heartwarming stories.
Have you ever called 911 before? Hello, I am Emma. Today I want to share with you a frightening experience. From this experience, I learned that how easy it is to misunderstand people, but at the same time, warmth and love can make a difference. One weekend 3 months ago, my husband was away on a business trip, and it was just me and the children at home. After the shower, I was reading bedtime stories to the kids in bed. Suddenly, I heard movement at the door. I thought I heard it wrong, but my son Leo also said he heard the sound. I looked at the clock and saw that it was 9 o'clock. It was quite dark. Who could come so late? I walked to the living room in confusion. Through the glass of the door, I saw that there was indeed a figure at the door, still looking in. As I looked around, I felt extremely scared. I got up the courage to ask who was that. The person at the door didn't answer and continued to knock on the door. The children also ran out of the bedroom and hid behind me in fear. A mother's instinct to protect her children drove me to be strong and brave. So, I asked loudly again, "Who is that? If you don't say anything, I will call the police." Then the figure at the door disappeared. Just when I breathed a sigh of relief, he came back again. He walked up to the door. Then a piece of paper was passed through the gap at the bottom of the door. My daughter screamed in fright. I am so scared, so I hesitated to approach the door. It was my son who urged me to call the police. Then, I took the children into the bedroom, locked the door, and took out my cell phone to call the police. While waiting for the police to arrive, I found my son's baseball bat and asked my son to take his younger sister with him. "Hide in the closet and don't come out," I said. Despite my own fear, I had to stay strong for them, to reassure them that everything would be okay. My mind is racing, considering different possibilities. But no matter what, I had to protect my children. After what felt like forever, the flashing lights of the police car pierced the darkness. I finally allowed myself to exhale, feeling the weight of fear slowly lift off my shoulders. The police knocked on the door and confirmed it was safe to open the door. When I did, I saw a man in his 30s standing with the police officers. He looked a bit familiar, but I couldn't remember where I'd seen him before. Before I could say anything, he started using sign language, which confused us even more. While we were all confused, my son came out of the house with a paper he found near the door. I completely forgot about this letter. I was too nervous. He promptly handed it to the police, indicating its importance, even though nobody was saying anything. Who is this mysterious guy? Why is he at my house so late? Why won't he speak? And what was written on the paper? My heart is full of doubts. Let's find out in the next video this Friday. Stay tuned for the answers.
Let's recap the vocabulary we learned above.
Let's explore the meaning of the word frightening. When we say something is frightening, it means it makes you feel fear. For example, if a sudden loud noise in a dark room is frightening, it means it makes you feel afraid or fear. Now, let's see how frightening is used in the original text.
Today, I want to share with you a frightening experience.
In this context, it means Emma is about to tell a scary or alarming event that she experienced. Let's explore the meaning of the word confusion. When we say we're experiencing confusion, it means we're feeling uncertain, disoriented, or puzzled due to a lack of clarity or understanding about something. For example, if you're trying to follow complex directions but they're unclear, you might feel confusion because you're not sure what to do next. Now, let's see how confusion is used in the original text.
I walked to the living room in confusion.
In this context, it means Emma felt uncertain as she moved to the living room, possibly due to the strange situation unfolding with the figure at the door. Let's explore the meaning of the phrase, "get up the courage." When we say someone gets up the courage, it means they gather or find the bravery or confidence they need to do something scary or hard. For example, if someone is nervous about asking their crush out on a date but eventually decides to do so, we might say they get up the courage to make the request despite their fear of rejection. Now, let's see how get up the courage is used in the original text.
As I looked around, I felt extremely scared. I got up the courage to ask who was that.
In this context, it means Emma gathered the bravery needed to confront the unknown person at the door and protect her children. Let's explore the meaning of the word instinct. When we talk about instinct, we're referring to a natural, automatic reaction or behavior that occurs without conscious thought. It's an inherent sense or intuition that guides us in certain situations. For example, if a mother instinctively protects her child from harm without having to think about it, that's her maternal instinct at work. Now, let's see how instinct is used in the original text.
A mother's instinct to protect her children drove me to be strong and brave.
In this context, it means Emma's natural, instinctive urge to safeguard her children motivated her to act with strength and courage. Let's explore the meaning of the phrase, breathe a sigh of relief. When we say someone breathes a sigh of relief, it means they let out a deep breath to express their feelings of relaxation or reassurance after a period of tension, worry, or stress. For example, if you've been waiting anxiously for exam results and finally hear that you passed, you might breathe a sigh of relief because you feel relieved and calm. Now, let's see how breathe a sigh of relief is used in the original text.
Just when I breathed a sigh of relief, he came back again.
In this context, it means Emma finally feels relieved and relaxed after the tense situation with the unknown person at the door is resolved. Let's explore the meaning of the word pierce. When we use the word pierce, we're describing the action of passing through or penetrating something with force, typically by something sharp or pointed. For example, if you use a needle to make a hole in fabric, you pierce the fabric with the needle. Now, let's see how pierce is used in the original text.
After what felt like forever, the flashing lights of the police car pierced the darkness.
In this context, it means the bright lights of the police car broke through the darkness, making it suddenly bright. Let's explore the meaning of the word exhale. When we talk about exhaling, we're describing the action of breathing out or releasing air from the lungs. For example, when you blow out the candles on a birthday cake, you exhale to blow the air out of your lungs. Now, let's see how exhale is used in the original text.
After what felt like forever, the flashing lights of the police car pierced the darkness. I finally allowed myself to exhale, feeling the weight of fear slowly lift off my shoulders.
In this context, it means Emma finally lets out a breath, feeling relieved and lighter as the tension eases. Let's explore the meaning of the expression, the weight lifted off my shoulders. When we talk about the weight lifted off my shoulders, we're describing a feeling of relief or release from a burden or heavy responsibility. It's like a metaphorical burden being removed, making you feel lighter and less stressed. For example, if you've been worrying about a difficult task or a problem for a long time and it's finally resolved, you might feel as though a weight has been lifted off your shoulders because you no longer have to carry that worry. Now, let's see how this expression is used in the original text.
After what felt like forever, the flashing lights of the police car pierced the darkness. I finally allowed myself to exhale, feeling the weight of fear slowly lift off my shoulders.
In this context, it means Emma feels relieved as the fear and tension dissipate, making them feel lighter and less burdened by the stressful situation. Let's explore the usage of the phrase, a man in his 30s. When we say a man in his 30s, we're describing a male who is between the ages of 30 and 39. It's a way to indicate the approximate age range of the person without specifying their exact age. For example, if someone tells you they're going on a date with a woman in her 20s, you know they're dating someone who is likely between 20 and 29 years old. Now, let's see how a man in his 30s is used in the original text.
When I did, I saw a man in his 30s standing with the police officers.
In this context, it means Emma saw a male who appears to be between the ages of 30 and 39 standing alongside the police officers.
Now, it's quiz time. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Question 1. If something is described as frightening, what does it mean? A. It's funny. B. It's confusing. C. It's scary or alarming. D. It's comforting. Question 2. Which word describes a feeling of being uncertain or puzzled? A. Relief. B. Confidence. C. Confusion. D. Joy. Question 3. If someone experiences the weight lifted off their shoulders, what does it mean? A. They feel physically heavy. B. They feel relieved or less stressed. C. They feel even more burdened. D. They feel excited.